What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, coming at you with yet again another perfume experience and continuing with the oud theme. And as per the title below of this video, yes, you've read it correctly. Today we will be going over Ensar Oud's Oriscent brand, specifically white Kinam. So I've went ahead and copped myself one of these small vials, which is basically 0.25 grams. And okay, first I'll show you guys what it arrives in. So it arrives in this packaging, and the little vial is inside, as you can see. And I'm just gonna try to get it out because it's really deep in there. And this is basically what you get. And if you look back here, it's almost cylindrical in shape. And yeah, I'm not sure if the camera's gonna capture that, but it is white Kinam, 0.25 grams. Now, this is a neat oud, so it's not mixed with anything, and it follows the Oriscent style, so more on the sort of Chinese, Japanese, Asiatic style of oud, which is different a bit from the Indian style of oud, or Middle Eastern, or even the, as of recent, European style of oud. And the reason I went for this over a lot of the others on the website was pretty much the marketing around it and some of the reviews posted on the website. So this was marketed as being sensuous, spousal pleasing, as per the words off of the description on the website. And you know what, it got me intrigued. And this is supposed to be a rare batch of oud, and like a lot went into sourcing it and extracting it. So I was like, you know what, I'll pull the trigger. I wasn't gonna go and get like the whole tola. Instead, I decided to go for the 0.25 grams just to get a feel for what it is. I've never smelt this before, or this style of oud on its own. So I was very curious to find out what it would be like. And yeah, so I pulled the trigger on it, and this puppy here does not come cheap, you guys. I mean, you can get full perfume bottles, designer or even niche, for the price of this, you know, little vial here. And yeah, before we get started with the perfume experience, and as per tradition on this channel, given that the recording is in the morning, you guys, I'm enjoying today some cafe from Kenya, and I'm on a kick of putting cardamom pods at the bottom of my cup as I'm extracting an espresso shot. So yeah, so if you are into the ritual, I still need my coffee for today. If you're into the ritual of grabbing your cafe or your favorite beverage, by all means, pause the video, go grab it, and come back, and we'll get started. Let's go. Alright, so this is what the Ensar or Oriscent website calls a recovery vial. So there is no dabber in here, so application is very precarious, you guys. I mean, you pretty much have to pour the bottle over, and yeah, that can get risky. Now, one thing is that the color of the juice of this is very yellowish, bordering on orangish. So first of all, as per a lot of the Oriscent oils from Ensar Oud, be it from the Ensar Oud brand or the Oriscent brand, it's very antiseptic, you guys, and very, very heady. So you get a really strong mentholy, kinamic, heady waft that goes straight up your nose, all the way to your frontal lobes and up your scalp, so you feel it rushing straight, you know, between your skull and your brain, which is very, very nice. It's very refreshing to smell something like this. Now, there is a touch, a very, very subtle touch of what I would like to call mop water. Okay, so when you take a mop and you wipe your floors and then basically you squeeze the water out of the mop in the bucket, you get sometimes that sort of soaked rag smell, and there is a hint of that in here, and I'm not really sure why that is, but you get a little bit of that in here. Now, by no means is it a deal killer for me, because at the end of the day, you get more of that heady, mentholy, antiseptic touch to this oil, which is very overwhelming off of the top, but it's definitely something you can pick on in there. Oh wow. So there's also a good incensey quality to this. It's very subtle, not very overpowering or prominent or strong in here, but you can certainly get a feel for that in here. There's something else going in here that I can't quite put my nose on it, but for some reason it evokes plums in my mind. There's a bit of a dark, dried fruit facet to it, and the thing that comes to my mind the most is dried plums. And it's very, very pleasant, you guys. It's super nice. I mean, it's really, really nice. There's also a slightly leathery facet to this, which is very interesting because I would not have thought that that is a thing with this kind of an oil, but there is. There is something about it too that's slightly dark. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's in the background, a bit of darkness, a bit of sort of element of mystery, if you wish. And it's these tones right there that I can't quite identify or pick on that make this very alluring, you guys. The more I whiff on it, the more I'm starting to get a bit of a transition from that Oriscent Kinamic style almost to a Middle Eastern oud expression. And it's very interesting because you get quite a bit of this incense, and while I'm not picking on an animalic note from an olfactory standpoint per se, I'm not really sure why, but my brain is looking for that animalic note, and I think my brain is trying to pick or interpret an animalic note that is not there just because of the presence of an incense note. So it's very interesting. I'm still getting that sort of dry fruit note in here, almost plum-like. But it's not really plum, but it's very interesting. To me, there's what feels like a bit of a floral note. It's very subtle, it's very hard to pick on, but it's certainly there. There's also this sort of ambery, saffronic-like touch in here and facet to this. Interestingly, that mop water sort of note that's very solid here has completely disappeared. I can't pick on it anymore. There's no green jungly facets to this whatsoever. No soil, no sort of after rain scent quality to this. It's just straight up antiseptic. You know what? The more I sniff this, the more I can see how this can be sort of sensual and pleasurable. It's, yeah, this is. I will spend more time with this, you guys, but I have a feeling I'm gonna pull the trigger on a full Tola TBD, but it's really really nice, you guys. It's actually out of quite a bit of the samples I've smelled from Ensar Oud, as well as just overall ouds. This one's profile is very alluring and captivating, and it's very, I'm not gonna say regal, but very classy, very refined, very elegant. There's sophistication to it, and yeah, it's so nice. And in terms of, commentary on performance, or in terms of projection trail slash seasonality, I don't think I'm gonna comment on this oil in that sort of way, just because it's very new to my nose and I'm still trying to grasp it, understand it, and develop the appreciation for it. So I do not want to do it a disservice or injustice. But I will say, for me, I can actually see myself wearing this to work on a suit. I can see myself wearing it to the gym. I can see myself wearing it at home just when I'm relaxing, taking it easy. It does have meditative aspects to it, but it's also very refined and sophisticated and classy, that you can actually wear it for a night out. And what's really interesting now is that as I close the vial and put it away, I can still smell it. It's almost like it's wafting from the box towards me. It stays with you. So it just goes to speak to the quality of this oil and just the effect it has. I can certainly still smell it on my nose, even though I didn't apply it and I've been smelling it. It's just very elegant. It's so nice. There's certainly masculine qualities to it just because of the incense in there, and yeah, overall a very very pleasant Oriscent style oud oil. And now that I'm actually just speaking about it, I'm picking on another note now, which is slight smokiness, which I'm gonna say is a complement, most likely, of the incensey facet of the oil, but the smokiness is coming in now. Now, whether it's because I whiffed on it so much that a lot of the oil is in my nose, or is wafting from the box, or maybe I spilled some of it, I'm not aware, but there is a slightly smoky quality to it, and it's just really really pleasant. I'm actually very happy with my purchase, and that I took a risk on pulling a trigger on this one. There isn't really a lot of reviews online, unless you read the reviews off of the Oriscent website by clients that bought. And with these, I tend to be a bit careful, just because they're like hand-picked, right? Cherry-picked. And yeah, I'm just glad that I pulled the trigger and took a risk on it. It's really really nice. Now, would I recommend it? If you're into an Oriscent oud oil, yes, by all means, pull the trigger on it. The good news is that you can get the 0.25 gram, or there's a sampler kit on the website too, which is a bit really pricey, but maybe it's better off to get on with the 0.25 grams, experience it, see if it's something that you would like before pulling the trigger on a full bottle. But this is fantastic, you guys. It's very very nice, surprisingly nice, to be honest, and I'm just loving it. I would recommend that you guys get it if you're into an Oriscent style oud. And yeah, if you have any other Oriscent oud oils, please let me know in the comments below what your experience has been, be it from the Ensar Oud brands or other brands. And yeah, I'm more than happy to be open to some commentary on the oils you've experienced, just because I'm just dipping my feet into that world, and I would like to experience more of it. With that said, I'll wrap it up here, you guys. As per usual, very much appreciate your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.